everybody doing today? It's Monday. Money don't wiggle, it folds. I have had that stupid TikTok rap stuck in my head for the whole weekend and it's like, it's an earworm. It's an absolute earworm. So I had to do it. I had to do it to him. What's up, everybody? Oh my gosh, excuse me. I'm playing some Ace Attorney. Oh my god, Midna, you scared me. I'm playing some Ace Attorney today because I wanted to. I'm ready for an awesome week. Okay, come here. Get the attention. Come get the attention that you are ordering. Oh god, she wants to crawl on my shoulder. Can you? Ow! You're scratching me. Oh, okay, gonna go up the chair. Anyway, I'm ready for a pretty eventful week. Ow! 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 I had a pretty good day today. Midna, you're a menace. You're a menace to society. I had a pretty good day today. I went for a walk, and I was outside in the sunshine, and I got all of that sweet, sweet vitamin stuff from the sun, and I'm feeling pretty okay. I'm excited to stream some more of this Ace Attorney. I'm excited. Cinema. I'm playing my first Pokemon game. I know you requested like probably way too long ago. But I set it up. It's here. It's happening. I'm sure to my word. I'm playing a Pokemon game on Friday, and I'm like a little nervous because I feel like I'm gonna get judged because I'm obviously not gonna be good at it because it's my first one, and people are gonna be like, you gotta use this one, and actually you don't know that this Pokemon's actually better against this type, and I'm gonna be like, I don't know, I just like this cute one, I'm gonna use it. We'll see how it goes. Also, I did like a bunch of stuff. I uploaded a new emote today. I don't know if I can use it because it's all weird about the follow emotes, which sucks. Maybe. Oh, I can! Haha! I can use it. I can, because I'm the admin, essentially. Hold on, let me see if I can launch it in there. The blush. I made blush. It's there. It's for real. I think it's a tier 1 sub emote. But it's there, and I made it, and I changed all of my my offline banner and my Twitter banner, and I was just like, I was going hard in the paint. I was ready to roll. So that's exciting, and I'm excited to feel pretty good. Without further ado, as I always say, I'm going to throw the content and trigger warnings for Great Ace Attorney up. I'm pretty sure I remembered to change it. Thank God. Please tell me that's the correct link. Yep. Awesome. I was worried that I forgot to change the title when I first went live, and I was like, I'm forgetting something. I knew I was going to forget something. But I fixed it. So let's get those up and rolling. So if you're new here, this game is a murder mystery solving type thing. There's blood and gore, both visual and audio. There is gun violence, especially recently, when we last left our intrepid heroes. Hi, Source Hill. Hello. How are you? Welcome in. It's good to see you. Last we left our intrepid heroes, they were on the other end of a barrel, so it was not great. But anyway, gun violence. Animal death and suicide, alcohol and substance abuse because of the wine from Mr. Von Reaper McGee. Domestic violence, which I think we're past that part. Self-harm, snakes, I think we're past the snakes as well. Anxiety attack, hospitals, bone breaking, hanging, suffocation, burial alive. Sorry. Tripped over that word there. Anti-Semitism and xenophobia. That one seems to be pretty rampant in this game. Fat jokes, flashing lights, shaky cam, and claustrophobic scene. That covers them all. If at any point you need to see those again with spoilers, you just hit that exclamation point warning, and that link will take you to doesthedogdie.com. And yeah, so that's all of that stuff out of the way. And so, that's not, there we go. And so now we can get back into our adventure and the mystery and the horrible cliffhanger that I had to leave y'all on. Whew. Surprised me a little bit. Okay, so we were at the pawnbrokery, and yeah, we ran into some trouble. So let's continue. The adventure of the unspeakable story, which was poor little Iris had her. See, we got shot. We got shot last time, which was quite the experience. I'm gonna turn myself down just a smidge, just a scooch. Oh, that creepy doll on the... Okay, behind that door, in the storeroom. Hurry! I don't know who's talking. I lost track. And we saw our buddies, our friends, our pals. He's dead. She's maybe dead, but she's got the gun in her hand. So they're probably going to frame her. It's not her, though. I don't think it's her. I think it's probably some Rube Goldberg-esque machine that has been set up to frame somebody. From that moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn, before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. Our little, humble little lodgings. 16th of April. Little Iris, over there. Oh, Iris! She's so small.
A telegram came, but all it said was, wait at home.
Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Bruno?
Poor Iris, she's trembling. Well, of course she's trembling. She got a scary-ass telegram. She's 10 years old. She's by herself. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. Well, worry would be valid in this situation. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Well, let's break her the news, I guess. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Oh, yes, I had a feeling.
You did?
Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop, so I knew something must have happened there.
When we entered Windibank's in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street and I chased after them, but they got away.
So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windibank, I suppose?
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at the moment.
Oh, why not?
They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see, and it's totally Gina. Gina.
Ginny? But why?
Well, the thing is...
No, Ginny wouldn't do something like that.
I know. None of us think she did it.
Then why have they arrested her?
I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. Well, she had the gun in her hand, which is never a good sign.
So where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
Well, how about that? I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning.
What?
Well, he was also shot. When we entered Windibank's, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet.
Hurley was shot!
No. Oh, sorry, that's still her.
No!
It's all right. His life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinners. St. Sinners? These names, I swear to God. They're tending to him there.
I must see him at once.
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
To operate?
really? That's pretty... Well, I guess they gotta remove the bullet. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Windibank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. Fight, flight, or freeze. After them! Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but... Well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away.
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well.
That's kind of true. He could have put himself at risk.
On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris. This poor little girl.
Where's Susie, Rudo?
She's still at the police station.
Oh, why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Usado stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later.
Oh, I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know and I would have come to the station.
So now, Gina's arrest.
I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs that were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects? After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
No, I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris. We just went over this. Which I guess I was supposed to choose that dialogue option before the other one, but oops. Ugh.
This is all so horrible.
The thing is, Mr. Windibank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside. Oh my god. If I hear... I am so tired. I'm so tired. Like, okay. I, like, kind of love it, but I kind of hate it. The locked room mystery thing. I'm just like... It's so... They present it as if it's like, wow, you're really gonna have to stretch your brain and like really think about this puzzle because it's a locked room mystery. But like, I play these games very often and every single one of them is like, locked room mystery. And I don't care. I don't care. I don't care that the door was locked from the inside. I understand that the culprit still must be there, or the culprit it wasn't actually locked at all, or whatever, but it's like, it's always a locked room mystery.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no.
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards.
Don't tell me there was no one else in the room.
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Rudo? Well?
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment, but I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Rudo.
I can't, oh, sorry. I can't oh my god. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting. I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder, but I don't want to leave her all alone here either. All right then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me?
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Gina's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed.
And don't forget, we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. But we can't visit him. You just said that we can't visit him. A new location has been added. I think we should go to the prison first. I think we should talk to Gina first. If it will let me, because it might not let me. Local prison, cell 13. Hello, Gina. How did they let her have that in there? Takes a while to load, huh?
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Haley and I made.
I wish you wouldn't point it at me all the time, though. What are you here for?
Ginny?
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So we were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry. You, get lost.
Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't.
You think you know me? Pull the other one.
Oh.
You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I can lay my hands on. Get it? That's the kind of person I am.
But Ginny...
I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cove came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. Well, I told him to get stuffed. I love her so much. She's awesome. I don't need no lawyer. I don't need no one. She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Ginny?
Because she's a stubborn little teenager. Yes, let's discuss legal representation with the 17-year-old. I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? They wanted me to sign papers, representation papers or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway, the whole trial. They'll pin it on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do.
Why do you think that?
Because that's how it's always been for me growing up in the back slums me whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, they'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sewed out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. Or, I read that wrong. Whatever. Can't trust no one, that's the point. As soon as you do, you're gone to grass. Dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could... Forget it.
Ginny! Don't you trust Runo?
No, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. No. We're gonna continue to harass you. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me. So I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. But the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest.
But why, Ginny? Why would you do that?
Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know, so it'll work. And after time, you don't get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? No, I think she broke in and got Iris's manuscript. What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest! What made the point anyway, eh? Nothing I could say would make a blind bit of difference.
Please tell us, Ginny. We believe you, whatever it is.
Believe me, don't be daft. Can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. And you know what? When it comes to liars, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I have.
What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
McGilded's alive and she lied for him. What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you've told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now.
Ginny, please.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this, something to remember me by.
It's a kitty cat. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so cute. Look at the kitty.
A photographic print of a really adorable cat. Look at the kitty. I found it in one of the pockets of his coat. Ain't no point in me having it.
I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in a pocket of that overcoat.
Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Jenny.
The white cat photograph has been entered into the court record. This white cat will be... The white cat did it! No, I'm just kidding. How could a cute little kitty like that do that? Can I present something to her? I guess I can present the white cat photograph. Gina, about this photograph. Oh, that. I just found it in one of the pockets of this coat, is all. Chuck it if you don't want it. So Magilda didn't give it to her. There's something written on the back, I think. There is? Don't mean nothing to me, though. I don't read so well anyway, especially not that scroll. I really ought to examine the photograph. Well, I'm glad it gave me a clue that I need to examine it. I could have thought of that. Look at this cute little kitty. So freaking adorable. This is an adorable little cat. I think it looks a little like Wagahai. I always thought that cats like to curl up inside under the heated kotatsu blanket when it snowed. Maybe British cats are different. They're built different. British cats are just built different. Oh boy, that is kind of hard to read. I can't read the first one. Fweely? Something Fweely? Date deposited 13th of February, 9 p.m. Article deposited, one small box. Loan something paid. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April. Look on the back of this print here. There's something written on it.
13th February, 9 p.m. Article deposited, one small box. Loan amount paid, 10 shillings. Redemption deadline, 13th of April, 9 p.m.
So this photographic print is a redemption ticket.
13th of February, that could be significant. It was just 2 days before the murder on the omnibus, wasn't it?
A small box. That doesn't tell us much about it, does it?
Reno, if Mr. McGilda still had the ticket, then presumably he never redeemed the article. So do you think the box might still be present somewhere in the shop?
Could be. If it's something McGilda deposited, we need to investigate. Yeah, because he is shady. I wonder if I can present it to her now that there's... Gina? Is there something you'd like to share with the rest of the class? No, Tom. I wasn't saying you could have it. Oh, weren't ya? Well, when someone says I can't have stuff, it makes me want it, you see. So you better hand it over now. No, I'm not giving it to you. Okay, well, that was a no. I guess we gotta move. I guess maybe we can go to the hospital now? St. Sinner's Hospital? I'm gonna take a sip of my Dr. Pepper, my caffeine. I'm treating myself to this Dr. Pepper. Oh my god. I'm sorry, I just looked over and I wish I could show y'all, but I feel like if I start moving stuff around, it'll wake her up. But Midna is on the floor. And she's like laying and her arm is like covering her eyes like that. She's so freaking cute. Oh my god, I want to take a picture, but like, ugh, my baby. Anyway, I wish I could show you. I need a cat cam. I need a cat cam. Holly. Oh. Oh, nope. He's in the operating room.
He's not here.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered. Oh my god. I'm gonna do a French accent. I feel like...
Alors, what have we here?
Nope. Just kidding. I'll do my generic guard voice then.
This ward is off limits, no visiting. So what are you doing in here, eh? Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin. Oh, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am. Sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solvers has a mysterious family, eh?
If that's how you see us, sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley? I believe he is currently in the operating theater, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation. Extensive? It has been several hours since he went in.
Gross.
Oh dear, is he going to be alright? Well, it doesn't appear to be
Oh shit, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is. Oh shit.
Oh! I have heard a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is.
Can having too much coffee really do that? That's terrifying. I know that if you like smoke a lot of weed, sometimes that can counteract an anesthetic. But I've never heard of drinking too much coffee. That's scary. Oh my god, they're like probably in there like...
Ugh. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet.
I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Can I examine the room? I kind of want to examine the room. There's a notice board on the wall here. Look, let's see. What does it say? Thought of the day. On seeing any vermin, calmly and discreetly inform matron. And discreetly.
Oh yes, they have rats and mice in hospitals like this that love to feast on all the medicine.
That's gross.
If you don't deal with them, there's nothing left to treat the patients.
Rats and mice. Oh, I see. This is a rather old building, I suppose.
But the doctors and nurses are all very good, I hear.
I certainly hope so for Mr. Sholmes' sake. What does this chart say? Can I look at his chart? I guess not. I can look at his bed, though. This must be Mr. Sholmes' bed.
Poor Hurley.
I know. It looks as stiff as a board, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think that will bother him.
No?
I often find him asleep face down on the floor, completely dead to the world.
I think I'd call the police if I discovered someone like that. I probably would. Can I look at the medicine cabinet? Look out the window? There's more. There's some crutches. I wonder what these are. Do you have any idea, Iris? They're crutches.
Oh, haven't you ever seen crutches before? Let me explain. They're for people with leg injuries to help them walk. You hold one under each arm, you see.
Ah, right. I thought they were weapons of some sort.
Why would there be weapons in a hospital?
I thought maybe a fighter had been injured in a battle contest and been brought here along with his weapons.
That's surprisingly plausible.
Interesting. Can I look at this chart? No, I can't. So, it looks like we're on the move again to Windybank's Pawnbrokery. To the crime scene.
This is where it happened then, last night.
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place looking for valuables.
But apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything bad happens. There's no sign of disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals, all dressed in black.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
Oh, shit, it's him. Sorry. Now I gotta get my Brooklyn accent out. Oh, Inspector, good morning. I suppose that's still British. It's so easy to just slip back into British when it's... I suppose I want to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind. Yes, I'm sorry about that. Well, you know, technically I'm not a police officer, so it's not really my job to chase down criminals, but whatever. Go off, I guess.
I thought you'd assigned extra men to the beat around here, Gregsy. Oh, look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
You tell him, Iris. You fucking tell him. Your ladyship. No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley and see he has the very best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Bruno's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
That is literally what I was just saying. Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The Jet in Black is totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that. Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Oh, well, bananas. Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice. Some nice, refreshing fruit juice.
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Gregsy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me if you'd like some.
Oh, look at her little kid. Or what is that called? A thermos. Look at her little thermos. Pinky out. Like a true gentleman. Ah, lovely. Not very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. I don't even recognize him like this. Well, what you got to say about the investigation? So, how's the investigation going, Inspector? Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver we arrested last night, in fact. Gina, you're going to charge her? That's right. Should be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid. Ooh, give it.
Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the?
And you're going to put them on the stand as witnesses, are you?
How could you? How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try to keep a secret from Iris. So you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you? Well, yes, they were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beat. And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison. She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course. I wouldn't put it past her. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition? Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinner's. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all.
Oh.
The bullet must have hit an artery in his midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
Oh, no.
That's... yikes. He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down. Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know. Well, anyway, he's having emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding.
But he will be all right, won't he? They'll be able to make him better.
Oh, of course, your ladyship. He'll be right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Well, because, of course. Yeah, because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective. That's why. We better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again. He is laying it on thick.
Oh dear, please don't die, Hurley.
Don't die! Don't die, Sholmes! I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theater. Her ladyship? I couldn't help noticing, Inspector. What? Out with it, sunshine. Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris. Watch the sauce, Sonny. I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right, you do treat us differently.
It's because of those Sorry, I'm going back into British, and I need to... It's because of those Adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories, that's why. I crop in him... I crop up in him to... Let me take that one more time. I crop up in him, don't I, Inspector Tobias Gregson?
Oh, well, yes, because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the Inspector, Iris?
I don't remember, really.
It was one of those Sholmes lines. That's still British and I need to stop doing it and I can't stop doing it. It's so easy to do it. Gregson is the smartest out of Scotland Yarders is how we put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me, eh? The very next month my pay doubled. Doubled, I tell ya. Oh, that's amazing. Well, because everyone at the yard reads them. They read all the Sherlock Holmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Of course, that explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can't you blame me? All it takes is one bad word from you and Sholmes would change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out to print. The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I lost to worrying about it.
But that would never happen, Craigsy.
Every month when the new Rance magazine comes out, my hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
I think I'll take a sip. Pinky out. Ah, lovely. So very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. Teetotal. Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, what is it? Got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now. An important message? I wonder what it could be. What is the important message? Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector? Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side, your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she all right?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe. Nope, not anymore. She had to head off. Head off? Where? Oh, right! She was invited to, Homeboy's office. The, Chief Justice. Right? Yes, the shady guy in white already danced away from the cops. Unfortunately, he got away. To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her. Ah, yes, of course. I'd forgotten about that. One for the Whipstocks took her there in the yard carriage after we finished questioning her. The She asked us to tell you she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there. She's got a nerve using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service. I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Cece have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me, but I'd better head over to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Onward! To the next place! Let us go! I am very curious as to what he has to say, and I also totally forgot the voice I was doing for the man, so I'm gonna have to come up with something else. Yeah, I was giving him a Boston accent. I didn't want to do too many British accents. Yes. No matter how many times I come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow. Because he's evil. Probably, I think, maybe.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe it thinks the same about you. I don't know who's speaking. So everything is clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust. Yes, thank you very much. I don't know which one was which. Okay, that's the two of them. There they are, Susato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There's nothing further here to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in preparation for your return to your homeland.
Oh. No! What? Wait, what? What did he just say? Your return to your homeland. Susato-san! No, we're not going back yet!
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was all that about? They're sending us away because we're getting too close to the truth.
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, thank you for coming to collect your colleague.
What's this all about? Why were you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow? This can't be happening!
Tomorrow? But what about Jenny's trial? You mean... She's been formally charged now. Oh dear.
You've got some slating to do. Miss Susato, what's all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan. Your life here can continue just as it has.
That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill.
Oh God!
Oh no!
Professor Mikotoba? I think I gave him like a southern accent or something. If I may. Yes, sorry. I'm pretty sure I gave him a southern accent because he reminded me of, oh my God, I think I forgot his name last time too. I'm so bad with names. I can see his face in my mind. Oh fuck, I can't remember. It's gonna come and hit me at like, I'm gonna be like sleeping in bed and I'm just gonna wake up with the start and it's just gonna hit me. Serendipity.
You must be the defendant, Ryunosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic medicine at Yumei University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, Father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown. And it seems he grows weaker day by day.
I don't believe it.
As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely. But wait.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening. Why didn't they tell her 10 days ago? I guess it takes a while for them to communicate.
Gina has been charged. She'll have to appear in court.
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even...
Well, I went British there too.
Not even 24 hours later?
Gina. The Lestrade girl and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker, yes. In all too conspicuous case, the pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. The yard is overstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo,
Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart.
in deference of your fine services to date, I shall overlook this young girl's insolence.
Insolence, he says. He's evil. Evil, he has to be.
But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave now.
How dare you? She is a doctor.
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that yesterday?
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that. "3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me."
There's just one more thing, Lord Strongheart.
Which is?
It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her.
A timely suggestion.
Sorry.
The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right.
Why would she do that?
A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison.
Well, she already explained to us that she doesn't trust them because she don't trust grown-ups. They all lie because they're all grown-ups. Yes, thank you.
Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you.
What a day. Gina charged with murder, Susada-san about to leave, Sholmes in the hospital.
Come, Mr. Naruhodo. Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Wow, wow. Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can as a lawyer. As a lawyer! Ooh, those gears. Alright, back to the prison. Excuse me. Hello again, Gina. No, please don't shoot me. Alright, come on, load it up. Take your time.
What are you lot here for now?
To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I?
Yeah, it's really slow.
Look! You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you.
It's mental illness, isn't it?
I keep thinking that. Maybe, just maybe, it's mental illness, isn't it? I spend too much time on TikTok. Anyway.
Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out. There's something I'd like to say.
What?
I'm sorry to say, but I must reluctantly bid you farewell.
Farewell?
Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home to Japan. I fear we may never meet again.
Oh, right. Oh, hello, Midna. You're back. Come, okay.
You wanna sit in my lap? You gonna cuddle with me? You wanna sit in my lap?
You didn't say hi to everybody. You didn't say hello to everyone. You just kind of tried to climb on my shoulder and then left. Look at this cute kitty. She's begging for attention because she deserves it. Mwah. If you would stand on my shoulders, I'd let you stand on my shoulders. And I could play the game while you sit there. But no, you want to be absolutely... You have to take up... Oh, okay. You want to try? No? Well, you're going to have to... Okay. Come here. Okay, you sit right there. How about that? You sit right there. Sweet girl.
I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable. Susie.
Well, that ain't my business.
Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them.
Yeah, that's right, I can't. What of it?
It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you. You selfish little bitch.
Sorry.
What? It's my fault.
Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now. I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you.
Oh my god, that's savage.
Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
Okay, go off, Susato.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, eh?
You told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths.
Oh, she a smart girl. She clever. You crazy. You crazy girl. I need to get off TikTok for like a while. I keep quoting stuff. I'm sorry.
What about what you said before, Jenny? You said something about unforgivable lies. You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant.
No, I can't. Whatever these lies are, they're obviously weighing very heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is it something to do with what happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted. The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Will you tell us about it now? Ooh, we getting the real deal now. I have chills. I'm like, ooh. Trial 2 months ago.
Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The coppers got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your
based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it.
What sort of thing did you lie about?
I was hiding under the seat that night. That was the truth. She totally saw him stab the guy. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. Couldn't see a thing, and then I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor. And that's when Mr. McGilda discovered you. Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There wasn't much light to see by, but when I looked at me hands, I had the cove's blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak. You had his blood on your hands. In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylight.
Then Mr. McGilda started asking you questions, I suppose. Who you were and why you were hiding under the seat.
Yeah, he did. Only, it's not all. What do you mean? I mean, he threatened me. Threatened you how? He made me swear about what I'd seen, what I'd heard, about what he was gonna do after the cove was found dead. He made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scarper before the coppers showed up. Yep. Kind of figured that's how that went. Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. You perjured yourself! You perjured yourself! Oh, damn. They really said, here's all your dialogue options. You said McGilda made you swear not to tell anybody what you saw, but you were in the pitch black compartment under the seat the whole time, weren't you?
Yes, with Mr. McGilda sitting above your head, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's true, but it was when I heard the thud of the cove hitting the floor. I let out a little scream, see? Couldn't help it. McGilda heard that and dragged me out by my arm, and that's when I saw it. I was on the floor next to the old geezer what had been stabbed. A disc, all bright and shiny.
A disc?
Do you mean... Yeah, that's it. The one what the D took on me at Winterbanks. The D. Is that... I think she's referring to, Mr. Eggert. Mr. Eggert Benedict? Or whatever his name was. So the music box disc was there on the floor of the omnibus. Not for long, McGilda spotted it straight away. He picked it up smart as she'd stuff it in his eyes pocket. So that disc was in the omnibus 2 months ago at the scene of Mr. Mason's murder. And the bog trotter told me I want to mutter a word of it to no one. Because it was so dark under that seat in the cab. I was straining my ears the whole time. After a while, I heard the door, footsteps inside. Cool beans! Yes, it's definitely Fortnite. This is my victory royale. We're headed straight to Tomato Town after this, and we're gonna fight the purple haze. And I think maybe some llama piñatas are gonna come and party with us. I don't know anything about Fortnite. Presumably that was McGilda getting on board. No, not only him. Oh. So I could definitely make out the footsteps of two people. Oh.
In that case, it would seem likely that it was Mr. McGilda and the victim.
Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason.
In his testimony during the trial, Mr. McGilda claimed he slept during the carriage ride.
But whatever, I mean, the carriage, I take it with a fierce tiredness and I always succumb to it. It's been a while since I've done his voice. That was rough.
In your own testimony, Gina supported...
Decided to make a crime drama instead of a battle. Yeah, this is new DLC. See, thanks, Sorcel, you got it. This is the, legal, downloadable, DLC, downloadable legal content. All I could hear was the Irishman snoring. Yeah, that wasn't exactly true. Neither of them was asleep. I could hear him talking the whole time in low voices. What? What were they talking about? Sorry, I don't know. The sound of the horses and the wheels was too loud.
But that still tells us something. Mr. McGilded and the victim knew each other.
Well, we already established that in that case because he was on the, what you call it? He was in the little black book. So McGilded was lying as suspected. I have cat hair in my mouth now because Midna was...
I knew it wasn't going to take long before someone raised the alarm and the bloke had been killed.
Yes, you were quite right. The other passengers on the roof deck noticed very quickly.
So when the cab came to a stop, Mr. McGilded told me to hide up back under the seat again. I climbed in and waited. Two ghosts up top ran off to get the coppers. Yes, Mr. Fairplay and Mr. First. Right. After they'd gone, McGilded asked the driver to do him a favour. A favour? Nothing, fella. What I need...
Oh my god, that was like vampire. What the hell is wrong with me?
What I need you to do is take this coat of mine and deposit it with a nearby pawnbroker. And for your troubles, let's see now. Aye, I'll give you 10 guineas.
This shady motherfucker. A nearby pawnbroker? You mean on Baker Street?
Yep, you got it. It was Windibags. Coach snapped up the money and ran off to Popper's Cove as fast as he could. So then there was no one left in the carriage. McGilded opened the box under the seat and let me get out of there, but not without conditions.
I see.
What were Mr. McGilded's conditions then? For letting you go free, I mean.
Not telling us so, not for anything. About what I saw, about what I heard. And there was something else as well.
There's more? But wait, there's more!
Yeah, this is the most important thing, he said. And after sending the coachman on a little errand for me, and with some small change in his hand. Now then, did you hear what I asked of him? Did you see anything at all? You asked him to go pop your weasel, right?
What?
Aye, the fiend's taken me overcoat to deposit with the pawnbroker hereabouts. And I want you, lass, to take the redemption ticket for it. You understand?
What? You want me to have the ticket?
That's right, and I'll come fetch it from you later. Sometime within the next 2 months.
Maybe a friquet like that. Oh god. You're killing me, Goldie.
You're to hang on to it until then, is that clear? And whatever you do, don't lose it. Alright then. And in case it might happen to be delayed at all, you're to go to the pawn shop, Windibank, so it is, and you're to extend the loan before the 2 months is up. If you forget, the article will be forfeited and any old fiend could come along and buy it. But I ain't got that kind of brass. Here's £5, that should be enough. Do we understand each other, lass? Don't try anything funny now, if you go against me.
Yeah, I get it.
Good, and one more thing. In a few days from now, you'll be visited by the police, I've no doubt.
The coppers?
Aye. They'll come asking you to take the stand in court to testify as witness. So let's just have a wee chat about that, shall we? What is it that you might say, and what is it that you want?
Damn, he had this figured out from the get. I don't like. He's so shady. I don't like it.
After he'd gone over it all, I parked it. Got as far away from there as I could. He hid the pawnbroker's ticket in some bushes near the scene. I went to fetch it the next day once it got dark. So McGilded planned it. And coerced Gina into giving false testimony.
He committing all kinds of crimes.
you ready to string me up, eh? I lied. In that big old courtroom, I told some corkers. The thing is, he said he would make it so we wouldn't live on the East End no more. That's what he threatened me with.
What a wicked man.
Wait, that was not Susato. That was whatever. He knew everything what went back on in the slums. He knew we had no one to look after us, and we was all just looking out for each other, getting by together.
So you mean Mr. McGilded would have...
In a heartbeat. He could have had a lot of us chased out of there if he wanted. And then, where would we have gone, eh? Nowhere, that's where. So, I didn't have no choice. Thank you, Gina, for telling us everything. But, I'm for it now, eh? Go on, admit it. You must be livid. Well, you can make amends by doing me a simple favor. Favor? What? Sign the representation papers for tomorrow's trial. If you don't actually want me to represent you in court, you can rip it up later. But we need that paperwork or we can't investigate. The police won't let us. Investigate what? The scene of the incident last night. Mr. Sholmes was shot, you see. You what?
Heard he's having a big operation right now, Jenny.
Is it bad? Is it gonna be alright? Sholmes is gonna be alright. Right? That's why we want to investigate, for Mr. Sholmes' sake as much as anything. Right. So what you're saying is, if I sign that bit of paper, everyone's happy, is that it? Something like that. Mrs. Sato?
Yes, of course. I have the representation papers here.
Come on, Gina. You know you want to. You know you want to. I don't need no one to stick up for me, though. No lawyer or nothing. Come on, Gina. Come on, Gina.
Poor Jenny. She seems so lonely.
Gina's representation papers. Yay! Signed by Gina. Yay! She signed them. Cool. We're officially her lawyers. Well, at least this should mean we can investigate the scene at Windibanks now. I mean, she's honestly all of us cool beans. You know, sometimes we just don't need a lawyer or nothing.
Yes, and perhaps we can come back to visit Jenny when we're done there.
Friendship! Yay! I feel like we finally cracked Gina. She's opened up to us at last. And now I have her representation papers. No one else knows just what a responsibility that is. Anyway, for now it means Inspector Gregson can't stop us from investigating at Windibanks. Although, something tells me he's not going to be happy about it. Probably not. He'll be fine. He'll get over it. To be continued right now. I'm not leaving on another cliffhanger just yet. I can't promise it, because last time I was like, it'll be fine, and then I was like, it's not fine. But I'm gonna continue right now. I'm gonna save right on over this one. Yeah. And you know what? I'm feeling spicy. Let's go ahead and make that save slot 3 have something in there too. Boom, baby. All right, let's move on. Windibanks Pawnbroker. Here we are again at the scene of the crime. Now to thrust these I can't read. Thrust these representation papers in Gregson's face and see what he makes of them. Yeah, thrust those papers. Really, really give it some oomph. Hello again, Inspector. Do you have a minute, please? I got something I want to thrust into you. Oh, fuck. Oh god. What is... Fuck, what voice did I give? I gave him a Brooklyn accent, but my brain is like, I don't know what that is. Oh god. Oh my god, okay. What is it now? You should go home and get some rest. Close enough.
Here you are, Gregsy. Here are the representation papers.
ladyship! How? I don't believe it. How the devil did you get that stubborn little ragabash to sign that? I salute you. That is good work, that is.
I can see you've been very busy here as well. How about some tea? It's a special blend designed to relieve fatigue.
So it has caffeine in it, probably? Speaking of which, I'm getting my caffeine.
Ah, lovely. Well, let's see now. Yes. I hardly feel tired at all. I'm fit as a fiddle, your ladyship.
Would it be alright if we investigated the scene of the crime then?
Do as you please. You know where it happened. Through that door behind the counter.
Yes, the storeroom. That's where I discovered Mr. Windibank and Gina. Alrighty.
Right, well, I'll be getting back to business then.
Will you be investigating in the storeroom as well, Inspector?
If I'm perfectly honest, we need to wrap this up before long. Can't afford to spend too much time on it. But there are so many articles to go through, it's taken forever, even with the lads working round the clock. Which is a problem, because there's another case the Yard needs to investigate urgently.
That must be what Lord Strongheart meant by far more serious matters before.
So what I'm saying is, don't get under my feet, Sunshine.
He doesn't want to walk on sunshine.
Come on then, let's not waste any time.
Alrighty. There's a lot to examine. I'm very curious about what is broken on the floor here. There's the article ledger here and Mr. Windibank's notes, and what's this? It looks as though someone has left a little photographic print behind. Is this a postcard? Is that why there's...
Oh, look on the back. There's some writing. Is there? Oh, show us, Susie. Show us.
It's a oh no, it's a different receipt.
15th February, 10:30 p.m. Article deposited 1 gentleman's overcoat. Loan amount paid £1. Redemption deadline 15th of April, 10:30 p.m.
A gentleman's overcoat pawned for £1. Clearly it was a very fine coat. In fact, I think...
Yes, this must be the ticket for the overcoat that Ginny redeemed yesterday.
And is still wearing, which belonged to McGilded. I would never have expected the redemption ticket to be handwritten on the back of a photograph, though.
It seems Mr. Windibank just used whatever piece of paper he happened to have on hand.
So there's 2 photographs. But this photograph of a cat, it's very cute. Looks very familiar, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen this exact same picture somewhere else recently.
Oh, yes, you're right, very recently. It's the same as the one Ginny gave us earlier.
Of course, I was forgetting that she gave us that print.
Well, what are you waiting for then, Mr. Naruhodo? Get it out!
All right. Let the cogs turn. Is this a spot the difference? Oh my god, is this a spot the difference? Corporate wants you to tell me the difference between these 2 pictures. They're the same picture.
Yes, they're exactly the same. I've got it. These 2 photographs hide an amazing secret.
A secret? What does she mean?
You must tell us, Iris, at once. Do you really want to know?
Yes, we need you to tell us all you know about this pair of photographs. Iris. This is a crime scene, Iris. Iris? What about the pair of photographs? So, Iris, about these 2 photographic prints. The one we found here on Mr. Windibank's counter and the one Gina gave us before. The one on the left looks slightly different. It's like just ever so slightly off. The one on the left looks a little different. Am I crazy? What is this amazing secret you mentioned that's hidden between these 2 identical prints?
Actually, that's not quite right.
Sorry?
If you look carefully, the 2 prints aren't the same. Not exactly.
They're not? Okay, so I wasn't crazy.
Have another look at them now.
The cat is facing just a teensy bit differently.
Can you see that they're just slightly different from each other?
I think so. It's very subtle, though.
But what's the reason for the subtle difference between the two prints? Oh, well, it's because they're a set, you see.
No, I don't.
This pair of photographs is meant to be used in a stereoscope. Everyone in London is raving about them at the moment.
Ah, a stereoscope. Why do I feel as though I've heard that word before recently? Oh, it's the thingy where you put the look in the goggles and the...
Oh yes, that's what Mr. Sholmes showed us yesterday.
God, those dolls are creepy.
You see? There it is, just over there.
You love the stereoscope. I don't know if I've actually ever seen... Well, I feel like maybe I have in my life. One of those little, me and the boys go down to the to see the pictures. See the Nickelodeons. Yes, of course, that magical machine that makes pictures look almost real enough to touch.
Well, actually, it's quite possible to see the same depth in pictures even without one of those contraptions.
What, really?
Do you know how a pair of flat photographic prints can appear to have any depth in the first place? No, I have no idea. Oh, wonderful! Then I'll be able to tell you.
She's over the moon. Bless her. Bless her. Should we let her explain, though? We really need to carry on investigating the scene.
I, for one, simply have to know.
All right. Tell me how stereoscopic prints work. Because this is clearly very important to the case.
Have you ever considered, Runo, how our eyes see depth in the world around us?
Well, I just opened them, and it works.
But the reason it works is because we have two eyes.
Two eyes. Shocking.
If you try closing just one eye at a time, I think you'll see straight away what you see with your left eye and what you see with your right eye.
And that's why we have depth perception. Yes, she got it. She explained it. Yay.
Are ever so slightly different. You get a different view with each eye. Yes, the position of objects tends to shift slightly. Exactly, and in your head, your brain uses that shift to estimate depth as it merges the two views into one. That's how we can sense depth in everything we see.
My brain really is amazing, isn't it? Does so much without telling me. That is true. Like how it makes your nose invisible even though we can totally always see our nose at, like, all the time. All the time.
I think I see. So the pair of photographs consists of a left eye view and a right eye view. Is that right? Oh, well done, Susie. You're so quick.
So if you can persuade your brain to merge the two pictures together in your head, you'd be able to see depth in these prints.
Yes, Runo, you're beginning to understand. By George, I think he's got it.
And a stereoscope's function is to act as your brain and allow you to do just that.
Yes, but as long as you have two images, two eyes, and one brain, you can actually do it yourself without needing a stereoscope at all.
You can? Really? So how do we view them?
Let's try it. Let's see if you can view this pair of prints without the help of a stereoscope. Oh yes, I'm dying to have a go.
Susana-san really loves this kind of thing.
You need to be able to cross your eyes, that's the main thing.
Can you both do that? Am I gonna cross my eyes right now? Cross my eyes? I think I can.
Watch me and see if you can copy.
Is she really gonna do it? Aw, how cute.
Make your eyes do this.
She looks really cute like that. Eye crossing stream.
All right, let me try.
Wait. Are you ready, Mr. Naruto? funny? Why is it so funny?
There, how's that? Wonderful, now it's your turn, Runo. The trick is to concentrate on looking at the bridge of your nose with both eyes at the same time.
Not exactly an easy task when two people are staring at you cross-eyed.
Alright, that's enough practice. Now let's try it looking at the prints.
Is it gonna do it for me, or do I have to do it?
Start by staring at one print and slowly crossing your eyes.
Oh god, it does it for me.
You should see two overlapping images like this. You try it now, Runo.
I'm just going to have to give it a try, I suppose. Is it gonna do it myself? Or...
Oh god, do the prints split into two images for you? Now the next step. Is to put the pair of prints side by side like this and then try crossing your eyes again.
I feel really ridiculous.
The prints should slowly merge together until... they form a new single image in the center. Oh yes! Mr. Naruhodo, it works! I can see it in the middle now. It looks so real! Oh, I could look at it all day!
Please don't do that. I wouldn't advise that. Your eyes might start to hurt.
Your turn, Runo. Pretend you're looking through the two pictures and slowly cross your eyes. Keep adjusting the position of your eyes until the two images overlap exactly in the middle.
Like this, is it? They're really gonna make me do it, aren't they? It's like... I see three images, actually.
You managed it, so now you know how stereoscopic images work. Well, I don't know who discovered it, but it really is quite extraordinary. So what do you think of these stereoscopic prints then, Runo?
They're certainly amazing, but it isn't easy to get the knack of viewing them properly. I'd rather just use the stereoscope.
No, some people find it easier than others. But that's why contraptions like this exist, for people who find it tricky. Oh, I recognize that. We saw one over there yesterday, didn't we? If I remember correctly, you press this little knob here. And set a pair of photographs in this stand at the back and...
It's still amazing, even though I know roughly how it works now.
While London seems to agree with you, stereoscopes are very popular at the moment. You can find one of these folding contraptions in lots of households in the capital currently.
But if these little machines are so affordable, surely there's no need to go around staring cross-eyed at pictures like you hate them.
But it's much more satisfying to be able to see the effect with your own eyes. Well, I think so in any case.
Stereoscopic pictures. I'd never heard of them until yesterday. We've certainly learned a lot about them, but I wonder if it's knowledge that I'll ever actually need. I guarantee it is, because it's an Ace Attorney game. The second white photograph. Okay, but... hold on. I want to look at the back of it, because I need this important clue as well. This is the ticket that Gina brought in here yesterday.
Yes, having been entrusted to her by Mr. McGilda 2 months earlier. Article deposited, one gentleman's overcoat.
And the other redemption ticket was in the pocket of that coat.
Yes, for a small box deposited 2 days before the omnibus incident.
Could that have anything to do with all this? Maybe that's the small box is a music box that they have to play the disc on. I feel like that's probably what it's gonna be. Wait, can I examine her papers? I, the undersigned, agree to legal representation by the lawyer named hereunder in regard to the following incident. Defendant Gina Lestrade, alleged offense, murder of Baker Street pawnbroker, attorney-in-law, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Okay. I guess. Can I actually look at the stereoscope? This is that strange contraption that lets you see pictures of things as if they're right in front of your eyes. It makes you think. When Mr. Sholmes gleefully showed it to us yesterday, we were blissfully unaware that any of this was about to happen. I'm fairly sure this contraption was here yesterday as well. Here we are, though I'm not confident I can get it closed again.
Oh yes, that's a folding stereoscope.
Really? This is a stereoscope? Mr. Sholmes showed us a picture yesterday that you were supposed to be able to see in 3 dimensions. But for that, he used the great big contraption over there.
Ah, well, that's for use in public houses and places like that. It contains a carousel with all sorts of pictures inside. But this little thing is much simpler design for use at home. There are special shops selling prints you can use in them. I have a little collection myself.
I wonder if I could make money out of these in Japan. It would be keeping my toilet sparkling clean anyway. There's some cacti. Oh, sorry, I guess that's the officer. This officer has been staring intently at the wall since before we came in here.
Shh! Keep it down!
Oh, sorry.
There's a major clue just here. Really? Then we must tell Greggsy at once. But as soon as I report it, that'll be it. I'll be stuck here even longer.
Stuck here? What do you mean?
I haven't been home in 2 days already. I need another constable to relieve me and take over my shift.
They really have a tough time, the British police.
That doesn't stop us investigating though, does it?
No, I suppose not. I'm fairly sure it was the calendar he was peering at. Yeah, the one with the blood and the bullet hole on it. I think I might take a gander at that myself. Ah, look here. Damn.
Oh yes, bullet hole. And I can see the bullet is still lodged in the wall.
Presumably, Mr. Windibank wasn't practicing with his revolver in his spare time.
Huh, well. Mr. Sholmes likes to practice in his drawing room whenever he can. He's very patriotic like that.
Sorry?
It's all there in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, you know. Isn't that right, Iris? Oh, did I write something like that? Partly in jest, perhaps. In jest? Well, he doesn't do it often. It is quite a dangerous pastime.
He doesn't do it often. He shouldn't do it even once.
Look at that for now, Bruno. Let's examine this bullet.
Yes, let's take a look at it. What's that around the bullet hole? Is it blood? A suspicious red stain on the calendar.
Uh-huh. I may well be able to help with that.
What?
There's nothing like the sight of blood to get the blood pumping, is there, Bruno?
Yikes. I have a feeling I'm not as bloody-minded as you, Iris.
I'm afraid the sight of blood makes my blood run cold. There you have it, you see. When it comes to blood, we're all different types.
Yes, what a scientific observation.
So you need this.
Oh no, what is that scary-looking thing?
Harry and I haven't actually come up with a name for it yet. But as soon as you see it in action, you'll understand what it does.
Watch. It's like luminol, almost. Oh, the color of the bloodstain has changed.
There. Does it make sense now?
Yes, I think I'm starting to understand. It's like early luminol.
Good, it works on the principle that different people have different types of blood, you see.
Well, I guess it's not exactly like luminol, but sort of, I guess. Whatever. Anyway,
yes, how wonderful. The chemical it fires combines with the blood and makes it change color. So you can identify whose blood it is that you're looking at. In a flash. Oh, what a fabulous invention, Iris. Isn't it? Isn't it? I bet Ginny would say it's bleeding great.
Nice. So whose blood are we looking at then?
Well, chemical does is turn the blood a different colour, so just find someone whose blood turns the same colour and you'll know who it belongs to in a flash.
But that means we need a blood sample. It's more like 2 flashes, really, isn't it?
One flash or 2, this could well turn out to be a very valuable clue.
It rhymed.
So we must make note of it in the court record.
Cool. So now we have a sample.
Let's keep testing and adding the results of any other blood analysis to the portfolio. As long as I have reagent left, sure.
Actually, there's a stain on the back of that one photograph, isn't there? I think perhaps we should see if that can tell... If that can tells us anything. I thought I was reading that wrong, but no, that was absolutely in there. Well, then I guess we'll take a gander at this one.
Mr. Naruhodo, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's something rather troubling here.
I have noticed. The red
smear, you mean?
Yes, it looks like blood, doesn't it? I wondered if Susato-san had picked up on that. Well, in that case...
Yes, we need Iris.
We should show this to her before we forget. Oh, we have to present it to her. Oh, okay, well, it's also updated the information. So that wasn't a waste. We'll present that to her in a second. I want to keep... Let's talk to this... Well,
These shelves are where the pawnbroker puts articles that have been forfeited on display for customers to buy.
Yes, it's a really strange miscellany, isn't it? I mean, who would buy this horse statue, for example?
Well, sometimes you can find some real treasures among all the junk, you know.
Are you alright, Bruno? Oh, it's just, well, it looks like a collection of useless junk as a whole, but when you pick out individual things, you can't help wishing you owned them, even that horse statue.
That's exactly how the pawnbroker works. They're very clever.
Let's talk to this guy. The police are scouring every inch of this place by the look of it.
Instructions from the yard are to examine every article in the shop and every ledger and book of accounts.
Every article? But that's a ridiculous amount of work, surely.
We've been hard at it ever since the shop was declared a crime scene in the early hours. We're sifting through it all in shifts at least, but still, we'll be working through the night, that's for sure, and even then we'll barely have scratched the surface.
A crime in a pawnbroker's. It must be every policeman's worst nightmare.
It's every copper's worst nightmare, you know, a crime in a pawnbroker's.
Well, there's our answer. This was the music box, right?
That's a music box. Do you have them where you come from, Bruno?
Yes, but I've never seen one as large as this in Japan.
Oh, well, this will be a treat. Shall we have a listen?
Not the time, Iris! We're investigating! Although it is pretty.
What do you think? Isn't it a pretty sound?
It's a beautiful sound, yes, but it's a little hard to enjoy when all the policemen in the room are giving you fierce looks.
Never mind that. If any of them say anything, I'll tell Gregsy to have a word.
Iris Wilson, Superintendent of Scotland Yard. Lots of clocks. Okay. I want to look at that broken lamp. That ledger that's open on the counter there really is enormous, isn't it? Must be an awful lot of work to keep track of all these hundreds of items in pawn.
It's too much to think about. Better to sell it and have a clear head if you ask me.
But clearly Mr. Windibank was very careful when it came to the articles in his care. Yeah, yeah. The shovel. I guess we're going back to the storeroom now.
Behind that door is a storeroom, isn't it? That's what Gregsy said.
Yes, and that's where I saw that dreadful scene last night. Through the little window in the door. Mr. Windibank face down on the floor, with Gina beside him.
As the accused legal representative, you have the right to examine the scene, Mr. Naruhodo. We must make a thorough investigation.
Yes, of course, and we will. Behind that door, that's the real seat of the crime.
Don't worry, if there are clues in there, I'll find them.
Alright. Well, let's first give her the blood stain.
Oh, that looks like blood.
I would say it's from a gloved finger, almost certainly a glove made of leather.
Well, don't worry, Bruno. You can leave the rest to me.
It's a different color. So it's not the same blood that was on the calendar. That's one. Look at that.
Yes, that's a color we haven't seen before, isn't it? We simply must add it to the portfolio of blood samples. It could be an important clue. Although, it would be nice to find out whose blood these different colors correspond to at some point.
Well, this particular stain of blood.
Oh, you've had an idea, haven't you? Do you know whose blood this is?
I think I do. Yes, I have an idea whose blood it is. Not from the color it turned, but with a little deduction.
That's right. I think it's clear. Iris, you know as well. You first, Bruno. Who do you think it belongs to?
Mr. Mason, right? Alright, I believe that this is the blood of Thrice-Fired Mason. Thrice-Fired Mason.
You don't sound very sure of yourself the way you trailed off there.
Well, it was 2 months ago now, that case. And of course, I'd never met the victim, so I'm struggling to remember his name. He was definitely thrice-fired, though.
The victim of the omnibus case? Yes, his name was indeed Mr. Thrice-Fired Mason. But that would mean that this bloodstain was left on a ticket 2 months ago.
Yes, I think it was. Gina brought this ticket here to Windibanks yesterday. I'm suggesting that the bloodstain was already on it at that time.
So it's a smear of blood from the time that Mr. Mason was killed 2 months ago. Something else is coming back to me now. Mr. McGilded was also wearing leather gloves that night.
That he was. Probably because he murdered the man.
Matthews, now I ask yous, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. You slimy bastard.
It certainly does look like a leather-gloved thumbprint, this mark. But we know that Mr. McGilded had no injuries at the time anywhere on his body, from which we can conclude that any blood on the glove belonged to the victim, Mr. Mason.
Mr. Naruhodo, you sound just like Mr. Sholmes.
Minus the quirky slip-ups, I hope.
Yes, I think you're right, Bruno. Very well. Let's make a note of this.
Alright. So the pink blood is Mr. Mason's. The green blood's somebody else's. Which makes sense. Since I don't think Mr. Mason was there. So, a new location has been added. The storeroom. Oh boy. Poor Iris. She's clammed up completely.
Iris is bound to find this difficult. After all, Mr. Windibank's life was taken in this very room only last night.
Oh, Gregson's back. Ah! Wait, Inspector! What is it now, Sunshine? You took one look at me and tried to run away. You think a Scotland Yard inspector would run away from some jumped-up little defense lawyer, do ya? Well... Nutcracker syndrome? What is that? That sounds scary. Is that something to do with your teeth or your jaw? I've never seen her ladyship looking like that before, is the thing. I didn't know what to say to her. So you weren't running away from me, you were running away from the 10-year-old.
I'm afraid this is all a little much for young Iris.
Excuse me. It predisposes men to infertility. Oh, okay, so yeah, a lot lower than the jaw, but... Why would it do that? Is it because a nutcracker is made of wood usually, and so it's like, wait, no, that's... Wait. I'm just gonna let you explain, because I'm probably gonna just dig myself a grave.
Some gentle reassurance might go a long way, perhaps, Inspector.
Yeah. Venous compression issue. Oh, so it's... I hate the people who named this shit. I'm sorry. Don't trouble yourself unduly, your ladyship. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Oh my god. Dude! Oh. I don't think that went very well. A distraught... That would... I mean, I feel like they'd probably give it the science... They would be probably presented as, like, the scientific name first, but then... I don't know, I feel like it would sting a little more to be, like, also known as nutcracker disease. I just got... I thought it... That's... Wow. That's twice. Wow. That's the scientific... That's... Wow. Fucking savage is what that is. Nutcracker. I literally went for my cat ears. Wow. No chill. Like, absolutely no chill. Yeah, fuck the guys who named that. That's really messed up. Ugh. Yikes. Big ol' yikes. You'd laugh if your doc told you that with... I mean, I think it would... I think it would take some... Sorry, I had to stop myself because I literally almost said with just my whole chest, it would take some balls to be able to say that with a straight face, and... I hate myself. I hate myself so much. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm going to hell. I'm going straight to hell. Straight down. Just give me like one of those, just give me like I'll Little Nas X that shit, and I'll just slide down the pole. Just straight down. I'm so terrible. Oh god. Yikes. Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine, and I told you not to get under my feet, because I don't want to walk on sunshine. I'm not walking on sunshine here.
We have investigating to do ourselves.
Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say.
Oh, Hurley.
And inquire into how Mr. Sholmes' operation is going. Yeah, do we have any updates from the hospital about Sholmes? I want to know.
Craigsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley alright, is he?
Well, the thing is,
Don't mince your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Sholmes is...
No, the operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well...
Oh, but then...
She'll kick your ass, man. Yes, ma'am! They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing, renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body anesthetized? Is that even possible? Yes. Yes, it is. It means the operation can't be completed while the patient...
can be completed while the patient is fast asleep.
Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction.
The trouble is the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to wake it first, so it took hours for him to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Oh, cool. So they gave him too much.
Oh my.
No one knows if the anesthetic's still in his system or if the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again.
Hurley.
The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Sholmes has to do things his way. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Psha! You got eyes, haven't you? Use them. It is what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. I don't think it's like that. Iris, could you lend me a hand?
So, Craigsy, what do you make of the crime scene here?
Oh, yes, your ladyship, do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. The one and only door to this storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside.
The lock appears to be broken now, though. Is that the police officers doing?
Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible.
Oh.
As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate on the floor, thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child.
Are you talking about Ginny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector.
Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was coiled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. And I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand.
No!
Presumably, it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In a pocket, we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to this storeroom?
And you say the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector?
Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. I really want his fish and chips. It's making me really hungry. Poor Iris. Well, obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Alright, so let's get to investigating, shall we? Maybe we should, the police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. Can we get some blood analysis going?
Poor Mr. Winterbank, he was a nice old man.
Well, he was just shot once through the heart. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. I feel like... See... This is really dark, but whenever they're like... It's that John Mulaney... We'll draw a circle around the body. Sir, I think we found a blood stain. Gross. Mop it up. Whenever they say that they died instantly and they didn't feel a thing, I always wonder, like, how instant? Like, to me, it doesn't seem like it would really be... What am I trying to say? I don't know. When they say, like, I'll give you a shot, it'll be over in an instant. And they, like, give a shot and they take it out and it's, like, it's whatever. Like, they prick your finger just to get the blood. Like, your body's still, in that split second, it's not, like, fast enough to beat your body's response. Like, it's still fast enough. Like, it's still slow enough. So it's like, I have to wonder, like... Sure, like, if it hits the heart and you're dead then, but it still has to go through, like, the skin, the bone, muscle, nerves, like, whatever it's happening to hit. Like, I still feel like your brain would, like... I still feel
like the pain is gonna be felt. That's super dark to think about, but I don't know why I'm like this. They thought about the guillotine, but they were wrong. They did a study with. Okay, yeah, that whole thing where they're like alive for 7 seconds or something. See, then the question is, are they still making memories? Which, not that the memories would really be of any use, because if you're dead, you're dead. But kind of weird. Ugh. Anyway, moving on. This must be his blood then.
Ah! I don't like to ask such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action.
What color is it gonna be? It's blue!
So, now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Windibank's blood.
So, still not the blood on the calendar. Wait a minute, I just realized you study. I guess they were just studying the executed people? Like they're like, alright, so the next guy who goes, we're just gonna watch. That's kind of a dark study.
And it doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. No, but let's add this sample to the others we've already collected.
For a really long time, it was common knowledge that they were instantly dead. Well, common knowledge. It was common knowledge for a while that the sun revolved around the earth instead of how it actually works. So, yeah. They had to basically beg to get his hands on some... the recently cervically dislocated. The way you put that. Ah! Oh my god, that's terrifying! That's... Oh my god! Oh, no! 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 I hate that. I hate it responded with its eyes. Thank you! I'm gonna have nightmares! Great! Oh my god. Ew! 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 That's... It hurt him! It still hurt him! Oh my god! I mean, I guess it could be worse. It could have, like, tried to speak. Then it wouldn't be able to speak because if it dislocate, you're not your vocal cords. Oh god, that just gave me the heebie-jeebies. Maybe not. Oh, Kyle's online. Hi, Kyle. Oh god! It responded. It responded. That's disgusting. That makes me uncomfy. I'm like smiling and laughing, but it's just because I'm so uncomfortable.
Don't worry, I'm alright.
Dump dopamine and serotonin. That's, yeah. I do know about that. Which is like kind of cool. It's like a failsafe, essentially.
But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely.
Let's look at the gun. This is a revolver, a real one.
And quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windibank's life.
Cool means you don't have to apologize. I welcome all of your fun medical facts. I do. I just, wow. That was like, I'm probably gonna be thinking about that for a while. But do not apologize. You taught me, you learned me a thing or two today.
What's the matter, Susie? You and Rudo look like you're about to faint.
Well, we just learned that a head responded when it was decapitated.
Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh.
And I've had issues with guns in the past. Isn't the in play with otherwise? I think a lot of people actually I think a lot of people also do epidural, which are like powerful drugs. Or some people are anesthetized essentially and they get a C-section. So that's why some people can scooch around that. But yeah, pregnancy fucks up the body a lot. Childbirth, and it does a lot of damage. A lot of irreversible damage. Nerve blocks to... Pre all this... Yeah, you're right. Obviously before all the treatments. They had to do it the old-fashioned way, literally. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windibank with this yesterday, didn't we? Yes. I shall have to take my own life. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole in the door to the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand.
Mr. Windibank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired.
So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver, which is probably the one that went into the calendar, which means the one that shot and killed him is from a different gun. And we're probably gonna have to figure that out without ballistic markings, because I don't know if they're going to have ballistic markings in this game because it's technically the old days. We shall see. We shall see. Out of all the articles in this storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Oh, that's her manuscript, isn't it? What is it, Iris?
That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh.
Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Surely that's not what all this...
Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, you sewed it.
Without telling you.
We must check inside the box at once. Yes. It was there. Iris's story was there.
Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris?
Yes. I mean, of course I believed Hurley when he said he deposited it here, but still, it's a relief to actually see it.
Really? Because that's not a very well hidden frown. Birth pain is complicated because most people report thinking... okay, I heard that birth pain is the equivalent of breaking all 200 and something bones. 206, is it? It's not 226, right? I think it's 206. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. But I heard that it's the equivalent of breaking every single bone in your body at the same time. So, I don't know. That sounds pretty bad to me. Oh my god, I do love watching those videos. The like little experiment things that they get those like little electrodes that are basically TENS units that are like more powerful, and they like strap them to guys' abdomens, and they like turn it up, and it's supposed to simulate like period cramps, like examination cramps, or childbirth pain, just a little bit, like contractions. And it is hilarious to like watch it strapped to a woman, and she's just like, oh yeah, this just happens like this is like the Thursday for me when I'm on my period. And then like the guys are like keeled over, just like, oh god. Those are funny. Those are really funny to me. But god, I don't think childbirth is the mind shuts out. I mean, there's probably, I think it's got to be for somebody that it just absolutely suppresses the memory of it. Like, it has to, statistically speaking, it has to be true, but I wouldn't put it past some others who are just being like, I don't want to think about that ever again. And I guess on an evolutionary level, it'd probably be good because it's like, we have to keep the population coming. Well, he's got quite the collection of stuff over here. Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them.
I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings, look!
Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. It's a time, all right. Or at least there would be, if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policeman shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, Sunshine. That's not the voice I gave you, but I'm doing it anyway! Missing something. But what? But what? There's the keys. If I've examined everything in the room, then I probably need to examine... It's a big-ass manuscript. The Hound of the Baskervilles. How did Susato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me.
I'm so sorry.
That didn't help me. Oh, cool. It actually, like, puts it... It puts, like, a profile in there. Can I present this? Is that what I think it is? Your ladyship's latest!
Yes, my latest story. It's called The Hound of the Baskervilles.
A most fascinating title, your ladyship. Fascinating, and, I don't suppose. Would there be any mention of my humble self in the tale this time?
Good question. I can't really remember. Excuse me.
I see. Well, why would you, your ladyship? I will just await its publication with eager anticipation. You needn't worry, Inspector. I'm sure if you do appear, you won't be doing anything particularly remarkable. You looking to be arrested, Sunshine? I didn't mean it like that, and even if I did, you wouldn't have bitten her ladyship's head off, would you? Apparently moms remember it if it's barely painful or extreme. Interesting. So the in between is just gone. I feel like I'm missing something now. It won't let me... Well, I guess maybe back in the shop? Can I present it to her now?
Oh, my manuscript.
Mr. Shum said he deposited at Windibanks, and he had.
But it's so strange. What is it about this particular story that looks so hard on it? Why would Hurley say I can't publish it?
I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you. I suppose. But I'm a 20-something dude, so I won't mix... Probably wise.
Oh, maybe. It's because Hurley isn't in it enough. Maybe I didn't give him enough good lines.
Yes, maybe. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. Can you present the blood? The way you can identify differences in people's blood like this is amazing. You really are a genius, Iris.
I know, I am. If Hurley and I put our minds to it, we could really shake up Britain's chemists and alchemists. And you could shake up Japan's lawyers and judges, couldn't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, for sure. Even if I didn't intend to. Can I move? I wonder if I have to move to Baker Street. The best takes are those from a complete lack of experience or perspective, according to the internet. True. I may not know much, but I clearly know everything.
I never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home.
Poor Iris, she's very upset by all of this. I'm sorry, I was there. I should have done more.
None of this is your fault, Bruno, so please, don't apologize. But it's the criminals who are to blame for all this. So let's investigate and work out how to catch them.
I love that quote me taking it. By all means. By all means. It's what is that quote from The Wizard of Oz? Where it's she's talking to Scarecrow and he's like, isn't it usually the ones without brains who do an awful lot of talking? Cause she's like, oh, if you haven't got a brain, then how are you talking right now? And then he says that line. It's from TikTok. It's everything I know is from TikTok. Yes, you're right. But what else am I supposed to investigate? I've already investigated in there. I looked at the kitties. Can we go to the hospital? Nope. Can we go to the jail? Oh, yes. More dialogue. I know because it brought up the box. Just kidding. She's not here. I suck at this. Gina doesn't appear to be here.
I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute.
What is it, Iris?
Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Ginny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my.
Why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse.
Calm down, Bruno. I was only joking, of course.
Oh. You had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction.
Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight of your words carry.
The weight that you're... whatever.
Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a light-hearted great detective is a contradiction in terms.
Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Sholmes would have just thrown his head back and guffawed.
I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo.
Well, of course it's not helpful. Well, anyway, it looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. I'm missing something, but what am I missing? Can we go to Sholmes' suite? Can we go... Let's do some more examining. I talked to him. It's all good. Talk to him. It's in the music box. Oh, I guess I just didn't examine this again. Green blood. It just seems wrong somehow.
Oh, there are all sorts of different colors. There are pretty pinks and purples too, you know. Like I said, everyone's blood is different.
I wonder what color my blood would turn out. Actually, I don't want to know. I'm still missing something, I guess. It's not the dolls, right? I'll check the storeroom again. Skip. Skip. Okay, I wanted to look at the broken lamp, which, like, it wouldn't really let me. Maybe I should examine more things in the court record. Mr. Windibank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had on hand. It's hard to know what's the front and what's the reverse side now. And then the cat. This is an adorable cat. Actually, now we have both pictures. I could have another go at viewing them as a stereoscopic image. Are we really gonna do it? So I need to cross my eyes and try to get the two cats to merge in the middle as one. Is he really gonna do it? It's such a hard thing to do. Whoever thought of this in the first place must have spent a long time staring. Well, that was not helpful at all. Mr. Windibank appears to have used the back of this photograph to write out a redemption ticket. He's written it very neatly, but still, perhaps he ran out of paper. This isn't helping me. Maybe if I... Nope, that doesn't help me either. So, I have to... Maybe if I move... Wait, maybe if I, Can I talk to her more? No, I can't talk to her more. So what if I move to the storeroom and then present stuff to... I already presented the manuscript. Can I present the blood samples? We don't tend to share sunshine, not with the general public. So that's a no.
In that case, Gregsy, how about some herbal tea?
Yep, just give the man some more herbal tea. It's not gonna really help with the case, but whatever. Ah, lovely. That really hit the spot, your ladyship. You don't mind sharing that then. Skip. I'm in the stage of Ace Attorney of just present everything until you... Nope. Wait, can we go, present the... Well, I don't know if that'll work, but can I present this? Yes! Inspector, what do you make of this? Ah, what have we here, then? A redemption ticket for an article deposited here, is it? Looks like someone ran out of the office stationery and wrote the ticket on whatever paper was to hand. Yes, this is the ticket from McGilda's overcoat, the one that little diva turned up with recently, or yesterday. Oh, actually no, it's not. Really? Think you know better than me, do ya? No, I didn't mean to,
Who knows right, Gregsy? It isn't the same ticket.
Of course it is, and of course it is, and I never doubted you, your ladyship. So, what's all this about then, if I might be so bold to ask?
This is a second ticket.
A second one? It seems that Mr. McGilda in fact had another article in storage here at Windibank's. Is that right?
I think we need to discuss this further with the inspector, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh good, because he's ever so easy to talk to. New dialogue! Yay! Making progress. This ticket was in one of the pockets of Mr. McGilda's overcoat. You mean to tell me? Yes, there was more than just the music box disc, it seems. I should have insisted on the lads taking it back to the yard and examining it properly.
Well, according to the details on this ticket, Mr. McGill deposited another article here with Mr. Windibank.
Yes, I can see it written here. A small box, was it?
Do you have any idea where it is, Gregsy? Any idea at all? It's another article belonging to Mr. McGill. It could be an important clue.
Well, yeah, I suppose it could be. Please stop looking at me with those big turquoise eyes all full of hope and expectation. It's too much pressure. I'll lose my marbles, I will. I'll go barking. This is no time for dog impressions, Inspector. That's enough sauce from you, Sunshine. There is one thing that springs to mind. According to this ticket, the redemption deadline's already passed, hasn't it?
Oh yes, of course. Articles are only held for 2 months. So the small box will no longer be in here then?
That's right. It's been forfeited.
Which means it could be on the shelves in the front of the shop where the forfeited items are offered for sale.
Yes, the shelves in the front. We must search them at once. You're wasting your time.
Oh.
There are dozens of little boxes out there, hundreds even. We can't possibly know which one might have been McGilded's. That information's not written in the ledger. Ugh.
Well, I think we should at least have a look just in case.
Of course, your ladyship, of course. Very sensible of you, I'm sure. This is getting old. It's gotta be, there's gotta be like a way that we can tell. Oh boy. Oh, all those clocks going off at once.
I nearly jumped out of my skin there. How could Mr. Windibank set such a wicked trap?
I doubt he set it out to scare anyone.
Is that really the time? I think perhaps we should pay Gina another visit soon.
Oh?
Her trial is tomorrow. We must establish whether or not you will be defending her. I think we should ask her one more time. She may have changed her mind.
But she already gave us the papers. I'm probably doing stuff out of order.
Don't you remember, Runo? You told her she could rip up the representation papers if she didn't want you to be her lawyer.
Really? Did I say that?
Yes, you did. The deadline for submitting the paperwork is fast approaching.
In that case, we had better hurry back to the prison and talk to Gina again. Alright, now we have a place to go. And I'm actually going to take a short breaks because I have got to go to the bathroom and I'm going to grab a couple bites to eat. But we will visit the prison in just a short minute. So y'all hang tight. Alrighty, I am back. We are back. So, we're headed to the prison to see Gina. Thank you guys for letting me have a quick little bite. That was delicious. Some veggies and some kielbasa for dinner. Goodness, I'm trying to scooch my chair back up. Ugh. All right, local prison, cell 13. Ah, Gina, good. You're back. She still doesn't want to talk to me, it seems.
The police must have finished questioning her then. Oh, how was it, Ginny? Was it awful?
Didn't bother me. Thank you for the papers you signed before. It meant we were able to investigate at Windibanks. Oh, right. Were you lying still, Gina? Telling lies?
Don't you want to know how we got on? You've been ever so busy.
What's the point in asking? Why change what everyone's saying? I did it.
That's not...
Gina, we came to ask for your final decision. And what decision? About tomorrow's trial. Will you let me defend you or not? Come on, Gina. Come on.
I must submit the paperwork now if you'd like Mr. Naruhodo to represent you.
Right, I see. She's really lost her fight all of a sudden. But I know what it feels like. The worry is just so hard to bear. Come on, Gina. Oh, all right then. Blimey, give it a rest with them eyes, Iris. So come on then. Fill us in. Who done it? Unfortunately, we don't know that yet. You don't say.
We don't know yet, Gina. But Mr. Naruhodo and all of us know that you are innocent of this crime.
And while we haven't yet managed to work out who the real culprit is, there are a number of interesting facts that we have managed to establish. Oh yeah? Like what? Well, for example, the reason for you being there in the first place. I think I know now why you broke into Windibanks that night. Looks like I'm going to have to take some evidence that clearly reveals the reason. And thrust it in Gina's face! Or I could present it to her calmly, I suppose. No, we gotta thrust it in her face! Can I present it from here? I cannot. So, let's go ahead and present it! We found this in Mr. Windibank's storeroom. The manuscript of Iris's latest story. Oh, right. Well, that's good then. Curiously, the storeroom at Windibanks showed no sign of being ransacked for items of value or the like. With one exception, the box file that housed this manuscript. It was you, wasn't it, Gina, who broke open the box containing this manuscript last night? You were determined to find out whether or not the Hound of the Baskervilles was really there. That's the real reason you broke into the storeroom last night, isn't it? Ah! Why don't you tell us what happened, please? All right, yeah, this Baskerville story. It's the latest Sholmes adventure, right? But it ain't been printed yet. So I figure it's got to be worth a fair few pieces of silver, right?
Oh yes, at least £5,000. What?
So you intended to sell Iris's manuscript, did you?
No, Ginny, how could you?
What? Wait, no, hang on. Of course I wasn't gonna sell it. All I wanted to do was find out if the manuscript or whatever you call it was really there or not. That's the only reason I was there in the place.
For Iris's sake, isn't that right?
We knew why you'd done it from the start, Gina. Of course we did. But
I knew you wouldn't do anything mean like that, Ginny. I just knew it.
well, when I saw the manuscript in the storeroom, it reminded me of what you'd said the night before.
grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Barefaced liars, a lot of them. You just ain't realised it yet. I'm telling you, that mantle scrape ain't in Winterbanks. You'd soon see if you had a look.
If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Oh, Ginny, that was so sweet of you.
All right, all right. I'll tell you why I did it. Just stop looking at me like that, Iris. It wasn't because of Iris, that's not why I did it. I just wanted to know the truth, that's all.
He wanted to know if Mr. Sholmes was being honest, if he'd really deposited the manuscript at Winterbanks.
It's like I told you the night before. I never had a father. Oh, wow. But Iris is not ain't like mine. She's got a dad, only she can't see him. And I reckon that's gotta be harder. Aw. That's why she writes the stories about her dad, really. That's what it sounded like to me, anyway. Last night when I was listening to what you were saying.
Stories about Daddy?
Then we know what happened to Father. Oh dear. You mean they're not the adventures of a great detective? So much as the adventures of a great detective and his trusty partner?
Well, that's how I see it, yeah.
You're so thoughtful and so kind, Ginny. Yes, we never thought any differently, did we?
Look, give it a rest, will you? I hate all this chubby nonsense, do you hear? I hate it. I don't trust no one, right? That's how I work. Because if you don't trust no one can let you down. So leave me alone. Go on, Scarper.
What does Scarper mean? Like scamper? Like scamper away? I hadn't noticed until now, but it's unmistakable. Right there on both sleeves of the overcoat. Oh my god, does she have bloodstains on the fucking coat? Are some very suspicious red stains. Oh god! Ugh, she's been wearing a bloody coat.
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
I think it might be worth presenting some of our other findings in that area to Gina now. Well, first, can we talk about this?
We already have the
Let's try that again.
We already have the representation papers and other documents we need.
All we have to do is hand them to the court clerk. That is, if you'll allow me to represent you in court tomorrow.
No, don't bother.
Ginny!
Rip them up and chuck them, would you? Them representation papers or whatever they're called. This cell ain't fancy enough to have a bin. So, what will you do in court tomorrow?
I'll be fine on my own.
I don't think you will be.
Look, it don't matter. What's gonna happen is gonna happen.
This is one stubborn pickpocket. Let's present this. Do you see this pawnbroker's ticket, Gina? It's the one you took to Winterbanks, isn't it? The one for that black overcoat that you're wearing now.
I don't know. They all look the same to me, those tickets.
Surely not. Well, this one has a very obvious mark on it that would appear to be blood. Does that ring any bells?
I don't know. It all looks the same to me. Blood.
And they all sound the same to me. These answers, suspicious. Those stains on the sleeves of your new coat, Gina. They're blood, aren't they? Not that I know whose blood yet.
What?
Blood, Mr. Naruhodo?
You don't appear to have any obvious wounds yourself, though. So could it be blood that splattered from Mr. Winterbank when he was shot last night?
Let's not beat around the bush here. This trusty friend of mine will get the results much faster than anything else.
Take it easy, Iris.
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Pink or blue? Pink or blue? It's pink! It's not Mr. Windibank's blood.
Oh. Oh my.
What the? Forget the sleeves. The whole coat is covered in blood. Of course. The black color of the fabric was masking the stains. That's why we haven't seen them until now. Okay, I thought it was a brown overcoat, to be completely honest, because that's not black, but whatever.
And the blood has reacted with the chemical to turn a purple color, which matches one of the samples we've already collected perfectly. Yes, now let's see. Who had the purple blood? Uh-huh. Yes, it was the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, the victim of the murder case 2 months ago.
I knew it. What are you all on about? The victim? What do you mean? Wow, McGilded really got away with murder, that bastard.
It's a rather uncomfortable situation, Mr. Naruhodo, but I think this makes things quite clear. It means the omnibus case is finally solved. The truth about who really murdered the brickmaker, Mr. Mason, is revealed.
Oi, would someone explain what's going on? Stop telling half a story.
We can see now that the victim's blood is all over Mr. McGilded's overcoat.
But in the trial 2 months ago, the defendant said this in his testimony.
Now I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fellow bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give a man a hand.
But if you look at this overcoat now, it's clear. These stains couldn't have arisen from McGilded trying to pull the victim to his feet. No. Oh, sorry.
No, if that's what really had happened, the blood wouldn't have splashed all over the front of the coat.
The only explanation for this pattern of blood is that it splattered over sorry, I keep calling him Mr. McGilded. I should just call him McGilded. Over McGilded's coat when he stabbed the victim in the stomach. I've tried to run from the truth for long enough. But there's no escaping it now. The true culprit in that case, Mr. Mason's killer, was Magnus McGilded. And the bastard got away with it.
Mr. Naruhodo?
That horrible case is solved at last. And I helped the man walk free from that trial. I used all that twisted testimony and all that sham evidence to prove his innocence. How could I have let that happen?
Bruno, did you believe him, though? Did you believe Mr. McGilded was innocent?
I believed. Or rather, I think I was trying to believe. I wanted to. Because believing in those you represent in court is a defense lawyer's greatest weapon.
A weapon?
Wow, they really were just like, oh, all that stuff that we keep feeding you in every single Ace Attorney game, now we're gonna make you feel bad for it. Now we're gonna flip it on its head and say, what happens when your client is actually a piece of shit and is guilty? Not that we had much of a choice in the matter if who our client was, and we were very much thrust into it. It was just like a, you need to defend this guy, or, you know. They're really flipping the entire Ace Attorney, like, mantra on its head. Before we came to Great Britain, a great friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson.
You mean Kazuma-sama?
Still pissed he's dead. Oh! His theme is so good, and also look at him, he's so cute. Listen, Ryunosuke. We lawyers are only human. We can't know for sure what is the truth and what is a lie. Which is why we must resort to our primary weapon. Ugh, those eyes. Why did you have to die? I'm so pissed. An unwavering belief in our clients. That's all we really have. Unwavering belief? Only when we truly believe what our clients tell us can we fight with everything we have for their cause. In any battle, there can be no victory without faith. So I believe you, unwaveringly. Why did you have to die? Ugh. What's funny, Gina? Cool. Sounds like this Empire Japan you come from, everyone must be soft. The indoor windblown thing. Yeah, he's got like a... he's just always surrounded by an air of... Well, come on. Look at the mess it's gotten you into, believing in that bog trotter. Yes, I inadvertently helped a murderer walk free. Well, at least you've learnt your lesson now, eh? Believing in people's never worth it. Someone always stabs you in the back in the end. As soon as you let down your guard, you've had it. Take a leaf out of my book. Believe no one. Get hurt by no one. That's no way to live.
Gina, may I ask you something?
What?
I'd just like to make absolutely sure. What would you like us to do with these representation papers for tomorrow's trial?
How many times do I have to say it? Rip them up and chuck them away.
Are you really sure that's what you want?
I bet that's what he wants it. Oh my gosh. I bet that's what he wants and all now, Mr. I'm a Believer lawyer over there. Don't forget it was me in that trial 2 months ago. I let everyone up the garden path, didn't I? And you're telling me you can believe in me after that? Not likely.
But you're actually telling the truth.
Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
A lawyer's primary weapon is an unwavering belief in his clients. Ultimately, it comes down to whether or not I feel I can trust Gina after everything that's happened. I trust her! She was absolutely coerced. Gina, let me say it again. Please allow me to represent you in tomorrow's trial.
Are you half-baked?
Not at all. You've not once admitted to committing the crime, have you? What's more, I believe that you're telling me the truth. Seriously? Mr. Naru Odo. Naru Odo. Oh, she's trying.
Didn't you hear all of what I said before? I'm a born liar. Fibs just tripping off my tongue. And I'm a diver, don't forget. I pulled the wool over your eyes 2 months ago and I got you into all sorts of trouble. Why would you ever trust me now? I just don't get it.
Because you're actually innocent.
Gina, I do understand why you choose not to put your trust in others. But I assure you, there is more to this life than you realize.
What do you mean?
The world we live in is full of people you would do very well to trust. People who won't ever let you down.
It's true that I'm just a student of law, and I'm certainly lacking in courtroom experience, but I can promise you this. Whatever happens, and until my very last breath, I am completely on your side.
What do you expect me to say to that?
I knew she was crying! I knew she was crying! Oh!
Then it's decided. I will take these papers now and carry out the necessary preparations for tomorrow's trial. It would be a shame to throw them away now after it's been penned with your name so beautifully.
Do what you like. You ace a lot. I don't know what you are. I don't get you.
We're helping! Yay! Gina's taken herself off to the back of her cell. She'd never admit it, but I hope she's feeling relieved. That turned out alright in the end, I think.
Show yourself at once. Eavesdropping is the height of cowardice.
Miss Susato?
Somebody's there in the shadows. I can sense it. Somebody who wasn't there before.
Is it Sholmes? It's Sholmes, isn't it? He broke out of the hospital. It's Sholmes. I guarantee it.
Blimey, you're sharp, eh? Ah, fuck!
It wasn't Holmes. It was Sholmes. Fuck! I got it wrong.
I suppose you were using one of those mystic Japanese arts. That's a little weird. Like the art of stealth I've heard so much about.
If anyone was being stealthy, it was you, Inspector.
Gracie!
Oh dear me, I'm most terribly sorry, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you.
How long have you been listening in on our conversation?
Good grief, listening in. No. I just got word that there were some visitors who were refusing to leave, even though it was after hours. I assure you, your ladyship, I only just arrived this very minute, not a moment earlier. That's all it is. Nothing untoward, nothing at all.
After hours? Is it that late already?
So then I'll humbly excuse myself now, your ladyship. Ta-da, toodaloo, cheerio, all the best, bye, and bye.
That's a lot of farewells, and not one of them appropriate for her ladyship.
But I wanted to have a chat.
I'm terribly sorry, but time is pressing at the minute.
Oh, I see. That's a shame.
If I don't get this emergency at the Supreme Court dealt with sharpish, Lord Strongheart will, well...
Emergency?
Lord Strongheart?
Nothing, forget I said anything. Anyway, I'm off.
All right, Gracie, if you have to, but let's chat soon.
Delighted, charmed, can't wait, if you please, my pleasure.
That's a lot of pleasantries, and not one of them sounded sincere. He really wants a good look in the book.
Gregsy's so funny. He said such silly things.
It's certainly entertaining to see an inspector of the police fawning to a 10-year-old girl. But anyway, I wonder what this emergency is at the Supreme Court.
I must attend to the court clerk's office now before it closes.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Miss Susato.
And then she's gonna leave. Kindly escort Iris home now, Mr. Naruhodo. I shall meet you there later.
Alrighty. I guess we're going back to the... And so our investigation came to an end. Susato-san went to file the necessary papers for my defense of Gina the following day. And then it hit me. I could no longer suppress the wretched feeling that had been gnawing away at my insides. Tomorrow, Susato-san would be leaving Britain and making her way back to Japan. It's so sad.
Naruhodo-san, it's been a very trying day, hasn't it? I do hope you're not too exhausted.
What about you, Susato-san? Today has been even more trying for you, I'm sure. Mr. Sholmes was shot before our eyes, Gina was arrested, all on the back of the news that her father has fallen ill and that she must return to Japan at once. I hope your father recovers soon.
Thank you for your kind words. I wonder why it is that so many thoughts rage in my head like a storm, and yet I seem unable to find the words to express any of them.
I know exactly what you mean.
Anyway, I have one final task to complete as your judicial assistant. Once that is done, I shall make preparations for my departure tomorrow.
One final task. What is the one final task? You mentioned one final task a moment ago. What did you mean?
Oh my, I nearly forgot. Please, I want you to have this.
What is that? Some huge bundle of documents.
It's my notes from the case 2 months ago. The murder that was committed on the omnibus.
The McGilded case.
It seems to me that this case of Mr. Windibank's murder, of which Gina is accused, is very much tied up with that omnibus case in ways that are not yet completely apparent. So I took the liberty of consolidating my writings about the case for you.
Smart girl. With everything else she's had to think about. Susato-san still managed to do this, and all neatly laid out for me in her beautiful handwriting.
It was my pleasure. I can only hope that it will bolster your case for tomorrow. Your case tomorrow for Gina.
Thank you so much, Susato-san. I will do my best to use it wisely. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world.
Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Sorry? I didn't quite catch what you said there.
Oh, ignore me. I was just mumbling to myself.
A complete failure? What are you talking about? I would have been screwed without her there. Do you know what time you will leave London in the morning? Yeah.
Yes, I picked up my ticket earlier. I shall be leaving here at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.? Oh my god, that's ungodly. I see. Well, I'll escort you to the station.
Absolutely not.
Sorry?
I'm sure you realize why I couldn't possibly let you do that. You have a very important day ahead of you tomorrow.
Gina's trial. Yes, I know, but
every word you utter will have the potential to determine Gina's fate.
No pressure.
You must get as much rest as possible. Even though, like me, I'm sure you will find it hard to sleep. But please, for me, do try. It's just 2 months since we arrived in London. We've managed to establish this office. It was finally feeling as though we were settling in. I would be lying if I said I felt no regret.
I'm so sorry, Susato-san.
It's just so sudden. I really don't know what to think. I've had no time to gather my thoughts.
I know we've only been here a short time, but in my limited experience of the courtroom, I feel I've learned something.
And what would that be?
It seems to me there are many facets to people's personalities.
Facets?
And like a jewel, the light plays off them in complex patterns, illuminating their actions and their motives. But we see only a small number of the total facets, and what is illuminated is only a part of the whole story. What lies in the shadows? What do those facets we cannot see look like? Perhaps there are some parts we'll never lay eyes on for as long as we live.
That's so true.
Sometimes I feel as though I'm blind to so much, but I keep hoping that one day it will all become clear. Oh, Gabe, thank you so much for the host. Appreciate it. That all the facets will be illuminated and I'll finally understand how everything fits together.
Naruhodo-san.
I suppose what matters is that we keep our eyes open and keep moving forward. Oh, Gabe, thank you so much for the 10 bits!
Boop Breezel 1 hello Breezel 1 love.
Hello! Boop! Thank you.
It's amazing to think it's just been 2 months.
Your posture is regrettable.
Yes, thank you. My
Concentrate
posture
on
is...
sitting straight.
And yes, I need to hydrate. I've had some caffeine and I have my big water bottle with me, so thank you. I'll take a big old gulp. Everybody in chat, hydrate! Delicious. Thank you.
You've grown so much.
Sorry, I've what?
Oh no, it was nothing. Unimportant.
Damn. Why damn? What's wrong?
Well, it's getting rather late. I think you should go to bed now, Naruhodo-san.
Some good hydration. I know. This bottle is 2 liters, and it has little messages on it. I don't know if you can see, but it has like little messages. I'm very much behind, but even if I don't like reach the little time things that it has, just having it around to like always have a convenient water source. It's good stuff. Good hydration. Susato-san, I
wish you the very best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Gay. That's very sweet of you. I've been doing pretty well today. I've had a pretty good day. I hope you've been well as well. Oh no, is she gonna cry? Wait, there's something I need to say. Oh my god, she's kicking my ass. Why is she kicking my ass? What was that?
A secret technique of mine. The Susato shutdown.
Shutdown?
Please, I implore you. If we have to voice our goodbyes, I won't be able to hold back my tears.
Aww. Although it's not healthy to not feel your feelings, sweetheart. You can't just fight everybody who wants to make you feel something. Susato-san. It truly had been a trying day. On our feet for hours, getting Gina to open up to us, and learning the truth about that nemesis of a case. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted, and yet the idea of sleep seemed impossible. But I forced myself to close my eyes, and as a cacophony of scenes of our lives here in London played through my mind, eventually, my fatigue triumphed, and I fell into a deep sleep. Riveting dialogue right there. Dot 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 dot. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, it's court day. The small hours. Saint Sinners, the small hours. That don't even give you a time, it's so small. Saint Sinners Hospital, Ward 3. Yes, I quite understand. That is a great weight off my mind. I don't know who's talking. Sholmes. Rest assured, I shall put everything in place exactly as we have discussed. Thank you so much. It has been an honor and a pleasure to be acquainted with you, Mr. Sholmes. Oh, someone was talking to him. On the contrary, the pleasure has been mine. Who were you talking to, my man? I bid you farewell and Godspeed. Who are you talking to? Van Zeeks? Susato, what? What were you doing? What were you doing? To be continued? We're gonna continue right now. Right now, just for a little bit. I got time. I can do it. I do have to work tomorrow, but I can do it. I'm saving over this slot right here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Slot 4. That's the one. I gotta keep it in my brain and remember it. Oh boy, when I awoke the following morning, Susato-san was already gone. Outside the window, the rain came down in sheets. And so began an even longer day than the last, one that I would remember for the rest of my days. The Old Bailey. Defendant's Antechamber. Good morning, Gina. Oh, come on, don't be like that. I'm determined to prove your innocence today. I'm sure we can do it. So where's your friend then? Sorry? You know, her in the fancy dress. Susato, however you say it, I don't know. Ah, Miss Susato had to leave early this morning, which you knew. We told her that she had to leave for Japan. She was already gone by the time I woke up. You alright with that, are you? Forget about me if you like. Go and see off. It's fine. It's not as though Miss Susato and I won't meet again. One day. Even so... But you, Gina. You only get one chance. This trial today is all we have. Good morning, you two. Is it Iris? Good morning, you two. Is it Sholmes? Is it Sholmes or Iris? It's Iris. She's got Wagga High with her. Aw.
How are you feeling, Ginny? Did you manage to sleep?
What a cute kitty. Iris, what are you doing here?
What do you mean? When a friend is in need, we show our support. Isn't that right, Waggy?
Meow. Oh, so cute.
Ah, Waggy!
Great way to show your support, kitty. I'm out of here. Speaking of which, where is my kitty? Oh, she's asleep behind me.
Let him have a nose around. What I'm gonna do. Oh, that reminds me. I bought a paper on the way here. Now, would you like the good news or the bad news? What do you say, Bruno? Ginny?
Oh, well, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. No, I always take the good news first. What was that I just did?
Always take the good news first. You might not live to hear the bad. Yes, that question always gives away people's personalities.
Let's not go there.
Alright then, I'll give you the bad news first. A record amount of rain has fallen this morning and carriages all over the capital are struggling to move.
Huh? The bad news was a weather report?
So I hope that Susie made her train to Dover and that the train isn't delayed on its way to the port.
Gosh, yes.
Alright then, so what's the good news? Well, the rain is forecast to subside this afternoon. So even if the train is delayed, it should be able to make up the time later. Well, that is the good news, isn't it?
I couldn't give a monkey's, really. If only all good news canceled out the bad.
And look, this trial has made the headlines too. Pawnbroker perishes in pick-purse plunder. See?
How do you like that?
Well, let them say what they want. See if I care.
I can't because you're covering your face.
Don't worry, Bruno will soon show everyone that this headline is nonsense.
I will.
And then in tomorrow's papers, the headlines will be... Discharged diver is Dotless do-gooder. Isn't that right, Bruno?
Oh, yes, let's hope so.
Of course they will. I have absolute faith in you. How was that? I was trying to sound like Cece. Did it work? Did it?
It's like she was still here. Today's paper has been added to my court record, which is concerning to me. That is gonna be used later. That is concerning to me.
Good luck then, Bruno. I'll do what I can. Obviously, I don't know the law like Susie does, but still. I'll be by your side the whole time, giving you moral support and encouragement.
I'm not sure that big thing is as comforting as you think it is, to be honest, but thank you, Iris. That's very kind of you.
Oh yeah, Iris. Yes, Ginny?
Well, I was wondering is all about Soames. Did they fix him up all right?
Yes, the operation was a great success. But Hurley still hasn't come around yet.
Eh?
I've asked a friend of mine at Scotland Yard to send a telegram as soon as he wakes up.
But he was already awake. There's a conspiracy afoot. I'm sure Gregson will let us know the moment there's news. Oh, right. No Susato san and no Mr. Sholmes. It's all down to me today to prove that Gina is innocent of this crime.
Miss Gina Lestrade, counsel for the defense, the trial is about to begin. Please make her way into the courtroom.
It's time then.
Yes, let's go, Gina. Iris? Aw, cozy? Is that what it is? Comfy. I love it. I'm glad that you're comfy.
Lead the way, Rudo.
Poor Gina. She's trying to put on a brave face, but I can tell she's worried and scared. I have to believe in her from start to finish. That's the weapon that will secure our victory here.
Cosima!
If I learned anything from my great friend, it's that... Wait, who's the prosecutor? Is it gonna be Van... I mean, I have to assume it's Van Zeeks. But I guess he hasn't shown his face in a while either, so who's to say? Oh, it's Van Zeeks. Okay, cool. He's up there. I figured. Oh, God. All right, I'm gonna take a big old gulp of water because it's about to be voice acting central here. Okay. I apologize in advance. Not all of them are gonna be good. I will lose some of them halfway. Disclaimer right there at the top. All right.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. This trial shall determine the guilt or innocence of Miss Gina Lestrade. I now call upon the counsel for the
Great start.
for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed. The prosecution is ready.
The defense is ready.
Lord Van Zeeks,
My lord.
remind me, how many years ago was it that you withdrew from the public prosecution service?
It was some 5 years ago, my lord.
Yes, and then 2 months ago you resurfaced somewhat unexpectedly, and here you are again today. Are there some circumstances of which the court should be aware that have led to this erratic behavior?
I feel like I set him too high in my register. I feel like when I did the judge last, it was lower. Whatever, I'll find it.
In what one might describe as your former life 5 years past, you dealt exclusively in matters concerned with the highest echelons of society and government.
Really?
Yet today, you choose to try a simple case of burglary and murder. I confess I find it more than a little befuddling, counsel.
There are 2 types of a person I cannot abide. Firstly, those wealthy scoundrels who hide behind a mask of philanthropy to cheat the public at large.
He means Mr. McGilted, who you defended against the Reaper 2 months ago.
Yes, I just about managed to work that out, thank you. Magnus McGilted, if I'd known what a monster he was, I never would have defended him. And secondly, even more loathsome, those vilely scoundrels who masquerade as allies only to effect total betrayal in the final hour. In other words, the confidence tricksters from those tiny islands in the Far East. The Nipponese. That is... racist. What? Did he really just say that? Yeah, that's,
He means you now, Bruno.
I actually managed to work that out too. Thank you, Iris. Total betrayal? What are you talking about? That torrid look of hatred in Lord Van Zeek's eyes. Was that directed solely at me, or was he talking about all Japanese people? That's super racist! Are you only just now picking up on his racist undertones?
An alarmingly scathing explanation, Lord Van Zeeks. Still, the judiciary welcomes the return of the so-called Reaper of the Bailey, feared by all London's malefactors.
Your lordship is too kind.
Now, jurors, the 6 of you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people in this trial.
Oh, Midna. Oh my god! Some of them are back! Wait a minute, isn't that the assassin? Hold on a damn minute. Alright, Midna.
Oh, you're scratching me. Why are you scratching me?
Midna. She's like, Mom, it's bedtime. Well, just say hello to everybody first. Midna, I can't. I love you. Yes, I love you. But you're gonna have to get down. Or you're gonna have to sit on the desk or something. Oh god, you're getting cat hair everywhere.
Are you ready to hear the evidence placed before you and determine the guilt or innocence of the defendant?
Oh my god, I forgot what voice I gave him.
Former lieutenant in the British Army. Don't you know, chaps like me were born ready.
Clean cutlery, and a clean conscience. His lordship's motto is very appropriate here, I think.
This is a new one. Everything will be stereoscopic in the future. Absolutely, absolutely everything, and I'm ready for it. He's a doctor? Oh god.
I don't understand it. I can't have left it in there. It's not possible. But could I have? Women indispensable in society. Stop. Female-centric future awaits. Stop.
I'm pretty sure that's the fucking assassin. Good day. I am visiting London for sightseeing. I would like to take bus to Crystal Tower Place. They really let an assassin, a whole assassin, be a jury member, huh?
Midna, what are you doing? Are you being a menace again?
She's being a menace to society. She's messing with stuff on my desk. Anyway.
Is something wrong, Runo?
Oh, not exactly. It's just... some of these people look familiar. I'm fairly sure I recognize these jurors. Almost all of them, in fact.
Really? Funny coincidences like that do happen from time to time, don't they? But it is quite strange the jurors are chosen at random from London's 6 million inhabitants, you know. We just didn't have enough funds to model more characters.
So I've been led to believe, but something tells me I'm being duped. It's a conspiracy!
Very well now, Lord Van Zeeks. The court calls upon the prosecution to introduce the facts of the case.
As you wish, my lord. Allow me to begin with a word of warning to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury. In short, there has never been a more self-evident case of cold-blooded murder. The victim, Mr. Pop Winterberg, proprietor of the pawn shop on Baker Street, was shot from behind and died instantly. The prosecution presents this photographic print of the crime scene. As the court will observe, there is a single bullet wound just below the gentleman's left shoulder. The evidence suggests that the bullet pierced the man's heart, resulting in near-instant death. See? Near-instant death. It wasn't instant, because it had to travel through all the other body parts. Moving on to the findings of Scotland Yard's coroner. His report states that the bullet entered the body on a rising diagonal trajectory. A rising diagonal trajectory. And what's that supposed to tell us? It means the victim was likely shot by someone significantly shorter in height than himself. I bet it was McGilded. I bet McGilded was there that night. And was fucking... McGilded is short. Someone like the accused, you might say.
Oh.
The prosecution wishes to present the autopsy report and crime scene photograph as evidence, my lord. Indeed, the court accepts. Hand them to the bailiff, please. Okay, so we have an autopsy report, and we have a crime scene photograph. I now ask the court to turn its attention to this plan of the establishment where the incident occurred. The proprietor was found in the storeroom where he kept articles pawned to him. A windowless room with a single point of entry, a door to the main shop that was found locked. In this sealed chamber, there were only 2 persons present. The victim, Mr. Winterberg, and the accused. It may further interest the court to know that when the accused was discovered at the scene, she had in her hands the gun used to fire the fatal bullet.
Well, that's that then, isn't it? Nothing more to say. Isn't that grumpy little pig?
Oh no, they're filthy drabs that live in the slums of the East End. Aww. Oh god. What are the juries waiting for? The girl's guilty as hell. We can't jump to conclusions here. We mustn't assume her guilt because of what she has done to of what she has to do to survive. What is that label on the bottle? It's like an X on somebody's... Anyway. My learned Nipponese friends, it is you who mustn't jump to conclusions. The prosecution has barely begun presenting its case. Conveniently, this appalling act of murder did not go unobserved. There were witnesses.
Good gracious!
After their testimonies, this girl's true nature will be exposed. Pitiful pick purse or cold-hearted killer. Here's to establishing the truth.
court will take the floor plan and firearm into evidence. Hand them to the bailiff, please, Lord Van Zeeks. At once, my lord.
Okay, so we have a floor plan. And we have Windibank's revolver. This isn't good.
I feel like the mood in here has turned very gloomy all of a sudden, Bruno.
I think that's because it has. The cape is off. Let us begin. Bring forth the witnesses to the foul murder of Mr. Pop Windibank on 16th April of this year. Me and the boys making premature. Are those your boys, Cool Beans? There's your boys right there. Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court. Nash Skulkin.
Yeah, the name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, baddie. Professional baddie.
I'm giving them the same voice and y'all cannot blame me for this.
Name's Ringo Skulkin. Occupation's, same as him.
Me and the boys are professional. Aren't we all professional baddies? Like, let's be real. We're all professional baddies. Tobias Gregson, Scotland Yard Inspector.
That's right, we're what they call the Three Skulkin' Brothers.
The three? Skulkin? Brothers? Brothers? Also, look, Squad's got jackets. Respect the drip. What are you looking at me like that for? Don't lump me in with you lot.
Sure, blimey, that's cold. Don't you know what we're going through? It's our older bruv. Lost contact with him we have, and they're scouring every shady corner of the capital. And then last night we come across you, the very spit of the bloke. Ain't that right, Ringo? He is, Nash, he is, the very spit of him. So we decided they're in what's that...
I'm sorry, I need to read that first before I... So we decided there and then what we was gonna do. We was gonna call... Okay, yeah.
So we decided there and then what we was gonna do, what we was gonna call you. Big Bruv Sulky.
Come on, leave it out, you two. Sulky Skulkin? And that's before he's run out of chips.
Well then, Inspector Sulky Gregson. Begging your pardon, my lord, but the name's Tobias.
What I would like to know, Inspector, is what you are doing in the witness stand.
The Skulkin brothers are currently under arrest, my lord, on suspicion of theft.
Thieves, are they, these three?
No, my lord, begging your pardon, but please don't lump me in with this lot. 2 nights ago, these two brothers illegally entered an establishment with the intent to burgle. And in the course of their nefarious activities, they became embroiled in a far sinister crime. Free my boys, they didn't do nothing.
By Jove, you mean to say, what an extraordinary coincidence.
Indeed, my lord. While attempting to burglarize the pawnbrokery, they witnessed the proprietor's murder. Oh, they got a box for that one guy.
Oh my gosh, my nose is so itchy.
Order! Order! The various trespasses of these brothers is not the subject of today's proceedings, though they will naturally face trial in the very near future. With your lordship's permission, I'd like to remain in the stand to keep these gents on the straight and narrow. Of course, Inspector. That's septical. Septical. That's what that looks like to me.
Skeptical as I am about the caliber of these witnesses, I will permit them to take the stand.
Mr. and Mr. Skulkin, you will now testify before the court. Describe the events of the night in question and what exactly you saw.
Happy to. 'Cause the Skulkins never skulkin'.
Get out of it. Oh my god. Are they actually related? I will laugh really hard if they are actually related. Alright, I think I'm gonna do this one testimony and then I might have to call it quits for the night.
We was walking down Baker Street in the small hours and the gas store was ajar, see? It was like some kind of sign begging for us to go in, it was. But once we got inside, God blimey, lummy, we heard a gunshot from the back room. We went to see what was what, but the door was locked from the inside. We never done nothing, Governor. We never took nothing. We just left after that, nice and quiet.
They are so full of shit.
A terrible coincidence, it would seem. At the precise moment these miscreants entered the property, an even more sinister crime was afoot.
So witness's testimony is consistent with the crime scene in every detail. The door providing access to the storeroom from the main shop was indeed locked from the inside, and within only the victim and the accused were found.
I must say, it does appear to be an overwhelmingly simple case. Still, the defense may cross-examine the witnesses now, of course. Counsel, if you please.
Counsel?
Yes. What's the matter, Runo?
Sorry, I was just stunned into silence for a minute by the blatant lies being told by that pair in the stand. I know that it's all nonsense because I saw it with my own eyes. I'll just have to expose their testimony for the pack of lies it is. And that is what I will do next time. I'm gonna save right here. Come on, let me save. I'm gonna save, and I have to start getting ready for my, I'm gonna save on 6. Let's do 6. Just so I don't, you know what, I'll save on 4 just in case I do forget. It's good to have 2. Good to have a backup. But I'm going to have to call it for tonight, unfortunately. I'm having a lot of fun. I just saved, so I don't need to save. Okay, I saved. I swear I did. Y'all saw it. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with me and letting me play some more Ace Attorney. I'm super excited for the rest of the week, but I am getting a little tired, and I unfortunately do have to call it. But if you haven't already, go ahead and drop a follow if you liked what you see, and go to stream. And follow me on all my social medias. You can, oh, of course, Gabe, thank you. And thank you for hosting, and thank you for the biddies again. So yeah, I'll be streaming again on Wednesday. I'll be doing some digital art. So if you're into that, we're gonna listen to some music and just draw. I'm gonna finish a drawing that I have been putting off, or actually start kind of technically, because I've actually been playing Ghost Trick, so that'll be relevant later. But and then all my stream schedule stuff is posted on Twitter, so seriously go follow me there if you haven't. And what else? I love you all, and I love spending time streaming and doing stuff, hanging out, blah da 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 da. Don't forget to hydrate. I'm gonna hydrate some more when I'm done, and get some rest because you all deserve it. I will see you. You know what? Let's raid somebody today. I think we should raid somebody. Let's see who's live. Who's live? Is Bree live? Let's see. Is anybody else playing Ace Attorney today? Let's see if we can. Somebody else is playing Ace Attorney Investigations too. Let's see. This person is playing the same game. Oh, it looks like they're on the first case. Let's see what they're up to. I'll probably hang out with them for a little bit, but thank you guys so much again, and I will see you guys next time.